think I think on this one, I wanted to address keeping your word, doing what you say you're gonna do. Why is that important? Because people are listening, especially if you're in the position of a leader. Oftentimes, I think we tend to say things with good intention, and in our heart, we have the plans to do what we say, but because of life and circumstance, and a lot of times things don't go our way, and I do mean more times than none, things don't go your way, and so you end up not fulfilling your word, and your excuse is life happened to you, whether it be something that was out of your control or something that you didn't expect popped up. That's the reason that you say you didn't fulfill your word. And for you, that's justifiable, but to the person that you made the promise to, it may not be. And they're going to remember what you said. They're going to keep a record too. So if you become a person that always has an excuse for not fulfilling your word, now, it's going to show that this is just who you are. It's not circumstance as much as you just don't do what you say you're going to do. I think sometimes what we have to do is we kind of have to fight to fulfill our word. We have to put forth an extra oomph and effort to get it done, because it's very easy to not get it done. It's very easy, for example, it's very easy to plan a trip for the family, then something comes up where you have to cancel, and the family understands, but you got to remember they're still going to be expecting a trip at some point. And so, and that's just one I know of personally. And so you got to come through on your word as a leader, because your followers are listening to everything you say, and when you make a promise to them, they expect it to get done. And okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about that somewhat ties with the first subject is how you act and behave yourself in front of your young ones, in front of your children. What's interesting about kids is they're like sponges. They absorb everything they see. They take it all in. I think I read somewhere once before that you learn most of what you're going to learn, the essentials, at very early stages in life, like between the ages of 2 and 7. That's when you learn to feed yourself, bathe yourself, talk, walk, all those things. Well, you walk earlier than that, but you get what I'm saying. You learn a lot very early. Everything after that is kind of just knowledge that's, I guess, not really essential to living as a physical being, but maybe essential to your survival in society. But as far as your physical, you learn most of what you're going to learn at a very early age. But kids, what they see, they take it all in, and they're going to multiply that energy. So basically, if your kid sees you doing a good thing, in an effort to possibly impress you, they're going to attempt to do that good thing and be better at it than you. And that's kind of what you want from the next generation. You want them to be better than you. At the same time, if they see you doing something bad, they might take what you do and do it even worse than you do. Because that's just how the energy flow goes. It's always upped to an nth degree with the next generation. And so you got to be mindful of what your kids see you do, hear you say, how they see you react to things. If you have a temper and your children see you with it, they're going to develop one, and then you're going to have to deal with it when they're older. Just so many things. How do your kids see you act around elderly people? Um, because that's gonna affect how they treat you when you're old, because they're gonna remember how you treated old people. How do you handle money? Your kids, your kids are gonna develop your spending habits, and so just everything. For me, I feel like our children, and I think older societies kind of understood this. I think our children is kind of our chance to show the world um, our skills in building. You know, you don't want to become a parent that forces your dreams up on a kid, but you do try to give your kids that dream of a life that you would have made your childhood. Because we don't get to pick our childhoods, but we get to pick our children's childhoods. And so, in a sense, you try to build their world for all the little things that you may have missed. You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna make sure my kid get that. I'm gonna make sure my kid get that. I tell people often that they're your most important investment, and when you go, that's who's gonna get your belongings. And so leave them in good hands, because you could build up this massive amount of wealth, but and tell your kids what to do with it when you go. But if they're not disciplined, or they're hard headed and go against you, they're not gonna do it. And so there goes your fortune, and some people have such a falling out with their children, they don't even have anything or anybody to leave their things to. And so make sure you keep a good relationship with them, because you want your stuff to be in good hands. You want to keep your family name strong when you go. You want to make sure your family's reputation stays positive even after you go. Whatever legacy you've built in your life, you want your children to carry that torch with a grace and a style that echoes and mimic what you did during your life. And again, even better, you want them to multiply all of your good and teach them to decrease your bad. That's why you minimize the bad that they take in, that they see you do, hear you say. Ultimately, kids should make you straighten up a lot, where you get rid of a lot of that bad in your life, so there's nothing to even cover up from them. You're just good around them, and that's what they see. And so that's all I have to talk about today, is keeping your word, and making sure the energy your children see you put out is positive, because they're going to multiply it. I want to thank you for watching. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a beautiful Shabbat. Get your rest on, and I'll see you next time. Peace.